Hello, friends. Hope you all are doing great. So, welcome to my channel DevOps All in One. So, my aim through this channel is to cover each and every aspect of DevOps concepts and to deep dive into each and every tool of DevOps in details. So, in this video, we are going to cover an overall view of DevOps so we can get the basic knowledge about what is DevOps concepts, how DevOps works, and what are the tools involved in the DevOps. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So in this presentation, I'm going to show you the high level overview of DevOps using the oversimplification of concepts for the purpose of providing a frame of reference that will help you to the move forward in your DevOps career. Okay. So here there are multiple DevOps tools and DevOps concepts uh, which we are going to show uh, in our next videos. So we will deep dive into each and every tools in detail. Uh, okay, so let's start. What is DevOps? So DevOps is nothing but a culture of collaboration between the development team and operations team to work together for the entire life cycle of project. Okay, so DevOps is a word, is a combination of developers plus operation teams. So it is actually a bottom up movement. Bottom up movement is nothing but starting from developing your code to the deployment of production. Okay, so previously what was happening in DevOps, uh, so any work done from a development team uh, is used to deliver to the operations team for deploying it to the UAT and production environment. So what was happening, if any problem comes in the UAT environment, then operations team was blaming development team that it is nothing, it is not working, and developers were blaming operations team that it is working fine in my development environment, but it's your problem, you have to fix. So to break the barrier between the development team and operations team, so these DevOps concepts gets involved. So it's nothing but a culture that is giving rise to a set of practices with the help of various DevOps tools. Okay, it's nothing but a sharing of responsibility and a pain which is going to occur in various phases of staging and production environments. So many people say DevOps is nothing but a collection of tools. That's it. But it is not like that. Uh, Tools are just the essential things for the success of DevOps. And in collaboration with all the tools, we can automate starting from building of your project till the deployment of your application in the production. Okay, so it is not a standard, it is not a product, it is not a technology, or it is not a job title. Okay, let's learn something about agile and DevOps. So after the emerging of DevOps, people said like the agile is dead now because DevOps has overtaken the agile. But it is not like that. DevOps is nothing but it is growing out of the agile software development movement. So agile methodology was like uh, quicker sprint development movement. Okay, and through those sprints, uh, I mean users were able to see their changes in a frequent and you can say like in a small fraction of code is getting delivered to the production very easily. But in the agile process, the deployment of application was manual to the production. So what differs DevOps in terms of agile is that after the quick and frequent cycles of development in the agile, so DevOps was doing an automation way to deliver those applications into the production. So it's not like agile work in a different way and agile and DevOps works in a different way. So agile and DevOps go hand in hand. Okay, so these are the concepts of DevOps, which will include a complete life cycle of the project. So starting from the planning phase till the release and monitoring phase, all the phases involves the DevOps. Okay, so it involves the build automation, continuous integration, then continuous delivery and continuous deployment. As an infrastructure as a code, we can install any software on number of machine with the help of just a script. Okay, configuration management, then containerization. Containerization is nothing but containerization of your complete application into an image, and you just have to expose that image with the help of any port, and then you can see the output in any of the containerization tool like Docker. Okay, monitoring is nothing but this is actually coming in the continuous deployment phase, where your deployed code is needs to be monitored by certain tools. There are various tools like Kibana, Logstash. These tools are keep on monitoring your applications. If any application is running through out of memory, then they monitor and send notification to the developers and DevOps team so that the actions to be taken. Orchestration is nothing but orchestrating an application of like Docker containers. So Kubernetes is one of the orchestration tool which involves the containerization of all the Docker images. Okay, microservices is a new thing coming in the DevOps. Nothing but breaking the monolithic architecture application into small pieces of services, and that services acts independently, so that if any service get fails, then other service don't impact on that. So this way we can have a distributed architecture of applications. Okay, let's see about the build automation phase. So it's a developer centric activities, and operations team don't need to worry about the build, and it should be like IDE independent. IDE independent is nothing but before DevOps come into picture, developers used to develop their code onto the IDE like Eclipse, IntelliJ, and they build their code in the IDE itself. So the building process can be done on the CI tools such as Jenkins, Bamboo, Travis CI, so that you don't have to rely on the IDE. It should be automated for fast, consistent, repeatable, portable, and reliable phase. Okay, automation of process or preparing the code of deployment to a live environment. So this complete automation process uh, has to be done with the help of the DevOps tools. So that's how the build automation is. So depending on the languages which are being used as part of development, just like Java, .NET, Angular, the code needs to be compiled, needs to be linted, minified, transferred, and unit tested. Okay. So these tools of build automation often differ depending on what programming language and frameworks you are using. So it's like for Java, You might be using Maven for building. For .NET application, you might be using the NuGet. For Angular application, you might be using NPM. So it differs, but one thing has to be in common, that is automation. Okay, so that is the build automation. Now let's check about continuous integration. So continuous integration process of DevOps involves the practice of frequently merging the code changes into the Git repository. Any repository like it may be SVN, it may be Mercury, it may be Perforce, but Git is the most used repository in DevOps culture. So it involves early detection. That means sooner the bug detected and it will be easier to fix. Okay. So as you can see in the picture, so various developers from various countries check in their code into the Git repository. This is the Jenkins, which is a continuous integration tool, which pulls that code from the version control system, such as Gits. It integrates that code. It provides build, test, packaging of your application. Okay, it produces the build artifacts with the help of the JUnit, Selenium. These are some testing frameworks by which we can test your application. Maven is a build tool which build your application and package it. And that packaged application, that is packaged artifacts, that we can store into the artifact repository such as Nexus, Frog Artifactory. During this process, if you face any error, then Jenkins will send notification to the developers on success or failure of code integration to the mainline. So this is how the entire continuous integration process works. Let's know about CI and CD. CI and CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Okay, so starting from the code commit, unit testing, integration testing, acceptance testing, then your code will move to the staging department, staging environment, that is UAT, and then it is moved to the production. So continuous integration process will be till integration test, like source code, unit testing, and integration testing will be happen in continuous integration. But further, all these stages are manual for CI. So CI is nothing but like be it will be limited till the agile methodology. But in the DevOps concepts, we are moving ahead with the continuous delivery and continuous deployment phase. So in continuous delivery, you can see the production stage is manual. So continuous delivery will be still uploading your artifact to the Nexus repository, but it will not be pushed to the deployment phase. So that's how the continuous deployment process come, where starting from source code commit till the deployment your application to the production is automated. I hope you understand these concepts. Okay. So continuous integration involves code compilation, static code analysis using SonarQube, unit testing using JUnit framework, integration testing, vulnerability scans, packaging, and uploading of artifact repository. Okay. Continuous delivery includes automated deployment to the environment, but it will be manual at the time of production, but continuous deployment will be automated for all the phases. So why we need CI/CD? So to deliver your product to the market in a faster way, we need CI/CD pipeline to lower the risk of smaller changes, okay, at a time. So small changes you are delivering in a frequent time, that will lower the risk. Instead of delivering a complete package and then at the UAT phase you are facing many problems. So delivering small changes in a frequent manner, that will lower your risk. So that is one of the advantage of CI/CD. We can follow the reliable rollbacks also, and we get fewer problems caused by the deployment problems. So that's how CI/CD works. Then we have a configuration management. Configuration management is nothing but a management of your configuration at an environment level, like UAT servers, production servers. For example, you have to upgrade any software packages like your Apache Tomcat version, you need to upgrade in all your servers. Then what you have to do? You have to just write a script in DevOps frameworks, just like there are many configuration management tools available in the market, such as Ansible, Shape, Puppet. With the help of those tools, you just have to write some scripts, some code to just giving the server names, your package names, and few steps, and you can just run onto the one of the server, and it will upgrade all your software packages onto the number of servers to whom your those addresses are given in the scripts. Okay, so these Ansible, Shape, Puppet, these are nothing but infrastructure as a code tools which are used as a configuration management. In the DevOps, there are various tools involved, just like a version controlling tool such as Git, SVN, Puffos. But Git is mostly used in the current IT standards. We have CI system such as Jenkins, Bamboo, Circle CI, Travis CI. So Jenkins is the most powerful CI system, which is open source and is used in multiple organizations. We have build tools such as Maven, Gulp, Packer. So depending on various technology, you can choose your build tools. For testing, you can use multiple JUnit frameworks such as JUnit, Selenium, Cucumber. We have artifact repositories such as JFrog repository, JFrog Artifactory, Nexus Artifactory, Docker Hub, S3 in Amazon. So we can use, as per the standard and industry requirement, we can use the artifact repositories. And for deployment, there are many configuration management tools. With the help of that, you can deploy your application into various environments, such as like you have Linux environment for staging, maybe for UAT Windows environment, or you can deploy your projects onto the cloud platform. So cloud is one and all a different stream for DevOps, where you can create your virtual machines, you can use orchestration tools, so that you can deploy your code into the cloud and execute your changes. So that's it, guys, for today. Thanks for watching my video. If you like it, then please hit like and subscribe button to stay tuned to my next upcoming videos. So in the next video, I'm going to cover the most powerful CI tool, that is Jenkins, and its configurations. Thank you so much.